So today I'm going to be going over the top 10 issues I have with the all-new Osmo Pocket. So stay tuned. Sizzle for Life here with another video. So I have the Osmo Pocket. I've had it for about a week and I've run into a few issues with it, and I just want to go over them in this video. And if there's any issues that I do not discuss in this video that you guys are having, please leave them in the comment below. I would love to hear what they are. So my first issue with the Osmo Pocket is the autofocus needs some work. You can tell on some of my videos shot by the Osmo Pocket that it takes a while for it to dial in the autofocus, and when it does dial it in, if you move the camera around too fast, it has a problem keeping up with the focus on different subjects. So I know that's just going to be probably a firmware update that DJI does, but for now, you really have to be careful what you're doing with the camera when you are shooting to make sure that you're in complete focus, because if not, there's a couple of shots that I'll put one of them right here on a cheese platter that is just, it took a while to focus in, and once it got focused it was great, but again, the autofocus has some huge issues right now, so that's just something to be on the lookout for. Number two, when I'm using the camera and I tilt it too much like this, the image flips upside down. I don't know if that's something that's normal with this, but it's kind of a pain, because if I get a little, like, I'm not like I'm flipping it upside down, but if I get a little, like, almost like this, then the image, the screen flips over, and I'll put something up right now showing you what I'm talking about. But that's kind of a pain when you're, you know, if you're in the middle of like a 1 minute shot and you tilt a little bit too much and the screen flips. So it can kind of ruin your entire clip. Number three is a huge issue. You can't remove the battery. I'm gonna think about that. So you're in the field, you have about an hour and a half film time. If you're filming in 1080p, and I'm going to be doing a video on the battery life in each separate resolution, so be on the lookout for that. But you can't remove the battery, so after like an hour and a half of filming, you have to plug the Osmo Pocket in and charge it up, or you have to have one of those external battery packs where you can plug in the bottom here, and it can charge it while you're in the field. But then you have a giant battery pack in one hand, and then you have the camera in the other, so it's kind of like, what's the point of having this really small camera if you have to carry around a cell phone size battery? Number four is the SD card is really difficult to remove. Like, I'm pushing, can't get it with my finger. I take a adapter, still can't get it. You have to literally take the case and you have to press it in, and even then, there, the card's out. Like, that's really difficult to get the card out. It should not be that hard. So, and then getting it in is pretty much the same thing except backwards. A little bit easier to get it in, but taking the card out is pretty much a pain. So number five, when editing 4K footage from the Osmo Pocket on Adobe Premiere Pro and in Cyberly Power Director, it really lags, and that slows down post-production immensely. And I know it can't be that it's 4K footage, so my computer is amazing. It's 2 years old. I have like the best i7. I actually just recently purchased an i9 processor computer with 64 gigs of RAM, a NVIDIA 2070 graphics card with 8 gigs of DDR6. So I'm upgrading the computer. It's on its way. It's being built right now. But what I'm saying is, if you have a little bit older computer, I have no problem rendering and editing 4K footage for my Sony cameras, for my GoPro cameras, but for some reason the DJI Osmo, even the drone, my DJI drone, I have no problem editing the 4K footage, but for some reason this footage, when I edit at 4K, it's like super laggy, and that slows down post-production immensely. And as you know, time is money, and that is really just, it's so annoying. I can't, it's just like, it's frustrating. Number six is, if you want to switch the camera to pro mode or get to all the settings, you actually have to hook it into your phone, okay? Which then brings me on to number seven, which is, you can't hook it to your phone with a case on. Like right now, yeah, it's really tight, secure, but it's not pressed in far enough. So you have to take the case off, okay? So you take the case off your phone. So now your phone is vulnerable. Then it's hooked in, but then look, it's like super wobbly in there. So anyway, that's the the next one. It's, you have to take the case off to get it into the phone. Number seven is, when you use the Osmo Pocket for time lapse, if you're actually holding it by your hand, it gets really kind of shaky. When I use the GoPro 7 for time lapse, I'm holding it in my hand. It has no shake at all, so it almost makes me just want to use the GoPro for the time lapse videos, not the Osmo Pocket. I mean, I'm sure if you set this on a on a regular surface, you know, just had it sitting here without holding it, it'd be perfect. But again, there's some shots you have to hold the camera, like, to get the good time lapse. Number 9, they give you this lanyard, okay, to hook up to your wrist with the camera, except there's nowhere on the camera to hook it to. I mean, what do they want you to do? Hook it to the gimbal? Carry it around like that? It's not a good look. It goes on here, on the case. Why would you be holding this on your wrist when this is for your pocket? This is what you need a lanyard on. So let's say you drop this camera and it breaks. This is $350. This is like $20. So again, there needs to be some way to hook this lanyard to the camera, but I don't see any way they're going to be able to do that unless maybe they make an attachment for here to hook it on, but who knows? That's just maybe just what they were thinking, that they're just going to be able to sell you another accessory. And number 10, it's really hard to navigate the menu on the little screen, so you almost have to hook it up to your phone whenever you want to change stuff and scroll through the menu, and that kind of defeats the purpose of having a little Osmo Pocket when you have to hook your giant cell phone up to it. So hope this video was informative. Again, if you have any complaints about this or anything that you think that needs improved, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear it, and I think it could help out the rest of the people watching this video. So be on the lookout for much more Osmo Pocket and GoPro 7 and all other kinds of videos on this channel. Like I said, we're going to be doing a battery test video with this, so that's going to take a little bit longer to film. So it's actually, we're in the process of doing that. We just have to charge it, and you know, it just takes about an hour and a half to charge, and then decharge it, which takes about an hour and a half. So it's going to be an all day long shoot, and then to edit that's going to be kind of a pain, as you know. On, I think it was point number 5. So anyway, before I start rambling too much, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.